Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome out to this Joinocity business automation webinar. My name is Robbie Law. I'll be kind of the host as we go through this. This is a software demo along with an educational demo where we're just going to be sharing some ideas on how to get more exposure for our business, how to handle and manage our business with more efficiency, and really start automating certain areas of our business so that we don't have to be doing all the work. Now, if you don't mind, really quick, because I'm the instructor, I'm going to share a little bit about me and my experience and why this has been such a difference maker for me in my personal business. I hope that it will help you understand what this tool is about, what this webinar can help you with. And by the end of this webinar, you'll be able to see, my 5 favorite automations, but also a tool that you can utilize in your business. And you'll be able to see that by the end of this. So I've actually been in business now for 23 years. In 1999, I started my first business with my business partner, Troy. It's called Lowball PC. We were building computers in our basement and we were going to lowball all the competitors. That was our goal. And we started doing okay. We started getting to the point where we were managing a lot of different areas of our business. And there were so many things we needed to do that it became overwhelming. I got out of that business and into many businesses in my career. And each time I've had different areas of the business that were challenging for me personally, things like following up with my customers because I had so many of them. It was hard to have that as an easy process. I've been a private contractor, a solopreneur, so to speak, I guess, my entire career. And so I'd always done work for people that had certain systems in place. About 5 years ago, I became it's a one-man show. I stopped doing my primary active income and focused primarily on my business. It was at that time I realized how much technology was needed in order to really run a business effectively. So I started running into a lot of issues because I'm not a tech guy. I was early. I started building computers, but then I got out of that space and into other things. So I didn't know a lot about, the computer, the tech side of it. I'm a fast learner. I'm willing to learn, but I didn't know coding. I didn't know, anything about how to use a CRM. Those things were all very foreign to me because they were always done for me because I came in and other people had that part of the business. And so over the last 5 years, I have struggled mightily to keep my schedule, to make sure that my customers knew what I was doing. They knew what our next promotions were going to be, anything. Like I struggled to make sure that my customers knew what was going on. So I found that through that process, I kept adding tools on top of what I was doing. I started using Kajabi for my member sites. I was using Mailchimp and SendGrid and all these other email programs to start contacting my customers. I was utilizing things like Zoho and HubSpot that was up to $500 a month to manage my CRM. I just had so many pieces of technology that were helping me, but it was like I go over to HubSpot and I was doing something on Kajabi and I've lost all of a sudden I'm over doing something new and I forgot what I was trying to do. I had too big of a tech stack. I wanted one thing, and I didn't think it existed, but I wanted one thing that allowed for me to do all of that. So something that could take over my automations. I could build my foundation of my business, things like my website, any funnels I might want to have that would be landing pages that could bring customers to me, any member sites that I might have to either train employees or other contractors, or to sell member sites. That's part of my offering in my business is to sell, evergreen courses. And, I wanted to have all of it in one place. I didn't know that would be possible. So today I want to show you what I found. I'm going to show you the tool that Mike Peluso has been creating and adding to and continuing to build out. And we're looking for people that are serious about business, but also serious about running their business in a way where they don't have to do everything, that they can set things up, set up an email campaign, and trust that it's going to go out to the people on their list. Do things like set up a birthday campaign so that any customer that comes in that has a birthday, that they're getting something from our business, letting them know, hey, we appreciate you as a customer. I wanted to be able to have all those things. Mike's been able to add all of those things into this tool. It's very powerful, but what we're building is a community of people who value communication with the customer, with ourselves, as a business owner, where we're not doing too much and overdoing our life, but also creating a community of people that's willing to share everything they're doing. Things move so fast right now that one marketing strategy might work today that doesn't work a month from now. So what do I do? What do I do if I don't know about the new things? What do I do if I don't know that Facebook is now requiring people to pay ads and they're not allowing for organic growth? I built my business on organic growth, and now I've got to go pay for ads. It's a new feeling for me. So I wanted something in a place, in a community where I could go, and that's what Joinocity is all about. So I'm going to get into this right now. Thank you for letting me share that part of what I do. I'm going to actually demo the tool today. I'm going to jump on and show you the workflows and everything, so you'll see what that looks like when we get there. But let's get in and talk about business automation, what it's all about. This is what we're going to talk about today. I'll tell you a little bit more about Mike and a little bit more about myself, and then I'm going to go into my five favorite automations. These are things that benefit me personally in my business, but I also went and looked and thought, okay, I've been in retail. I've owned retail stores. I've flipped about 40 houses. I've raised capital, tens of millions of dollars. I've been a wholesaler, imported from China and then resold. I did network marketing. Let's not talk about that part of my life. I've done a lot of different areas in different businesses. Now, in every one of those businesses, there were certain things that I needed every time. So I tried my best to find the 5 favorite automations that worked across every business, and I'll share those today. And then I'm going to be demoing and showcasing the tool. So really quick, this is our founder, Mike Peluso, a good friend of mine. And he makes me smile just thinking about him. When he called me yesterday, it was my birthday, and he sang me happy birthday. It was like the most awkward thing ever, but he's the kind of guy that's willing to do awkward. He's willing to do awkward because he knows that getting outside our comfort zone as a business owner is necessary. He understands the mental side of it. He's teaching essentially how to master this part of our minds, so that as business is tough and things are hard, we know what to do. So I appreciate Mike a lot, CEO of Joinocity. He's excellent with the tech side, but also understands the people side very well. I'm just going to skip over me. You guys heard enough about me. So these are the 3 main things we're going to focus on today. Attracting customers. That's the very first thing, is we've got to know how to attract customers. I'm going to draw some things on my iPad. I'm going to just go off the cuff and do it, but I am going to, in fact, I'm going to get it all ready right now. But I'm going to go ahead and share some things on my iPad that will help you look at your business. And this is my hope today, that you'll listen in on this webinar, spend about probably about another 40 minutes. And as you're listening in, you're finding new things in your business currently that you can do to fix it, things that you can do to improve it. You would be on this call either because you have a business, or you're looking to get a business, and you're looking to expand it and grow it. So these are the main areas that we're going to be focusing on here today, is attracting customers. I'll draw that out, give you a few ideas. Converting customers, now that they're looking at us, what do we do to help them say yes to our message and become a customer? And then, last is automating our standard operating procedures, the things that are standard that we're doing already every single day, but can we find a way to automate them? I taught the E-Myth principles for about 7 years. If you've not read that, write the name of that book down, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Fantastic. The book's not going to make you wealthy, but the book will help you understand what the difference is between a technician. In fact, this is a great opportunity for me to share this. So I'm going to share this right here. A technician. You're going to see my notes real fast. There we go. So here is kind of the E-Myth principles. I love the book. It's so fantastic, but the principles are so universal. Okay. We have technicians. Okay. So this is the E-Myth model. Okay, this is the E stands for entrepreneur. So it's the entrepreneurial myth, the myth of just owning my own business and everybody works for me and everything works perfectly all the time. Bullshit. Excuse me. Technicians, they're on the bottom of this triangle. Now, everybody starts there. Everyone starts as a technician. We don't maybe know how to do a sales campaign, or we don't know how to send out an email campaign. And so we either we've got choices, but most people will send their first one out and they'll get in and do the work. So that's them doing the work. So technicians are in the business. They're working in the business. Okay, the second layer is going to be our managers. A lot of people get to the area in business where they're able to just manage their business and they hire people out, but they're still necessary. They're like saying, you have to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And as long as they're directing traffic as a manager, the business seems to function just fine. So managers, the arrow the wrong way. The managers, that's a level that we want to get to in our business, but we usually grow from technician. Like we get in the weeds, we learn how to do everything, and then we become managers. That's how I became part of Joinocity. Mike called me because I'm a pitch guy. I build pitches out, I build pitch decks and stuff like that. And Mike said, I need a webinar that can show people what this looks like. I'm like, I'm not going to sell anything, dude, but I'll show people stuff. So that's what I'm doing here today. But I had to get into Joinocity and build my website and build my funnel and connect my calendars, not because I couldn't get someone else to do it for me, but because I wanted to learn it. And I found that it was so easy to do that I was able to learn that process. And now I can now train somebody and become a manager of that and say, okay, I don't need to do that now. I know how. I can train someone on how to do it. That's what a manager can do. Now, entrepreneurs hire managers. Entrepreneurs, like true entrepreneurs, will replace themselves. Okay, and we replace ourselves with one thing, a person. I'm sorry, three things. A process or a technology. We got to replace ourselves with one of these three things. And when we do, we step back and the business is going and we get to go and have the freedom in our life. Now, technology is what we're going to discuss today, along with processes and people. But those things are what we're looking to replace ourselves to become the true entrepreneur, to be here and be in this area. We really, really have to, at some point, replace ourselves. That's what this webinar is all about. It's not about buying this tool from us. It's not about joining our community. It is about you looking at ways where you can say, my business has a lot of moving parts. What are the moving parts that I can replace myself with? A person, a process, or technology. And when I can do that, I can step back and function in the business. I also taught for Robert Kiyosaki. He does it a little bit differently. He does it this way. He talks about employees, self-employed business owners, and investors, and he calls the entrepreneur the investor. I like the E-Myth model better because it just makes more sense. But if you remember Robert Kiyosaki's version, it's basically the same thing. But in every area, if we're on this side of Robert Kiyosaki's triangle over here, I hate the color red, so I'm going to switch. Okay, if we're over here on Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant is what this is called. If we're in this area, then that means we're automating most of our business. We can step away from our business. It still functions. We can come back a year later and it's in as good a shape as it was when we started. So, or when we left. That's, Robert's version. I like this model of learning to replace ourselves because that's what allows us to step back. So I want to get into some of the training. Before I do that, I want to show you a quick way where you can brainstorm your business today. Okay, grab some paper or a sticky note or a notepad on your computer, and then start writing out your thoughts, your ideas, your inspirations, the things that come to you here today. I want you to leave this webinar with more than, oh, that was nice to listen to Robbie. I want you to leave with things that you go, I know I'm going to do this. I know I'm going to do this. I know I'm going to do this. Okay. A great way to do that is to start labeling those notes and ideas. Okay. So when I'm writing out my notes, I am labeling everything I can so that I'm not writing a note going, wait, what was that? I mean, I'll show you really fast just so you can get an idea, like my note taking. Let me just get to a recent one that doesn't have an NDA. Let's do this. So this is a client of mine, and as I'm taking notes, I literally label everything. You can see when you go through, I put a plus, that means he needs to add that to his pitch. I put a little light bulb next to it. It means it's a good idea that I'm at, So label your notes. So don't just take notes today on what I say. It's so frustrating, to be in a place where you're learning and then you leave going, wait, what do I do now? What do I do? Take your time, label your notes, know what you're going to do when you leave this thing so that it doesn't become a waste of your time. Okay. Now, anything like that, these are some ideas. If you want to screenshot this really quick, you can just screenshot it. In fact, let me make sure yeah, that's coming through. So you can screenshot that if you want to take that, but let's jump in. I want to show you what this looks like and start talking about attracting our audience. Okay. So when it comes to attracting our audience, so the things we're going to talk about is attract, convert, and then automate. Okay, these are our SOPs. Okay, so when we're attracting our audience, so think about it like a big funnel. Okay, now everyone's used this analogy before, it's not new. But if you think of your audience and you go, okay, if I want to throw a big net out to my audience, what can I do to be in front of them? Okay, so when we think of that, we go, okay, what do I need to do to be in front of them? We've got social media. We've got our website. Any marketing that we're running. I could keep adding to this. In fact, I'm going to shrink it so it's easier. Okay, we might have our referrals. Think, okay, right now in your business, write down 5 ways that you've gotten a customer in the last year. Just write down 5 different ways you've gotten a customer in the last year. That's your attraction method. How did you get that? How did that person come into your funnel? Okay, as they come in, if it's from social media, they come now into our pipeline. What happens at that point is so important. Okay. If you've ever heard this, there's something called the rule of 7. The rule of 7 states that 7 exposures before someone says, yes, I'm in, I'm buying, I'm doing this. Now, clickbait is a one exposure buy. In my experience, that type of purchase is going to not create a residual customer. A residual customer buys from us and then buys from us again and then buys from us again. And then they become a raving fan and say, hey, I bought from these guys. You want to buy from them? Here's my referral code. Or here's how you get in contact. Here's their website, because we've made it easy for this customer to buy from us once, trust us because they get good value from us, buy from us again, continue buying from us until they love us enough to leave us a Google review. They're kind enough to tell their friends or send us referrals. Those are things that we need to do. Well, what is someone comes in and they hear about us through social media? Let's say we do a post on LinkedIn. It's a business post and it says, hey, we got this business automation webinar. It's coming. That's exposure number 1. Came in from social media or Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Clubhouse, anything that's a social media platform. I think I'd consider Clubhouse social media. Anyway, I love talking to myself. I wish you guys were hanging out with me right now, but you're not. So hi, wherever they come in from, how they come in, they're now in our funnel. They're in a pipeline that we have. Well, what are we doing to make sure that they don't stop at level 1 and they saw us and said, yes, they jumped on a webinar and they saw Robbie's face one time. They were like, what's up with this guy? And then they left and that was it. Well, if we as a business, Joinocity, want to be able to saying, okay, you're getting notes so that you could experience what this rule of 7 is like through the process. Sometimes it's annoying. And quite frankly, the way that we do this is going to be up to us to discover and test. If we don't test this stuff, we won't know how it works. But when you get started with a webinar, you see a video first, and then you say yes. When we say yes, from there, there's an email that comes. There's a text message that comes. Okay, so now we've got an email. I'm just going to write this quick workflow out real quick. I've got a text message. I don't know if you got my voicemail either, but I also sent a voicemail, which honestly, like, talk about like kind of an awkward thing to do, but you got to step outside your comfort zone. And at some point, I'm going to be able to understand how to do that voicemail with class and clarity. You know, right now it sounds like, hey, it's Robbie, you know, but by the time I'm done, I think I might sound okay. You know, so if we're going down this list, we're saying, okay, the first exposure was social media, second exposure was email, the third exposure was a text message, fourth exposure was a voicemail, the fifth exposure that you guys have is the webinar. So for me in my business now, I have given you multiple exposures to get to this point. So how that experience is, that's up to me as the business owner. That's up to you as the business owner. And if we're good at what we do, we will make that process effective. I'm brand new at this webinar. I'm going to make the process perfect at the end of it because I know that this rule of 7 exists. So what are the other exposures that I can have to share with you that you should be using this and become a buyer of our tool? Well, people say, you know, a tactic shown is a tactic blown. I don't agree with that. If I show you that this works, and by the end of this webinar, you say this stuff makes sense, it's going to be easy for you to say, Robbie, I'll pay what you want for that type of business product because that's going to help me. I just have to show the value of what it looks like and show you that it can actually be something that helps to replace you, a technology that can replace you. And I'll show you what that is. So right now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause for just a second for yourself. I had you write down your 5 ways those people found you. Okay, 5 customers. How did they find you over the last year? Now I want you to think about, and maybe even write this down, what were the exposures that they received? And sometimes we have to think about this and go, what exposures did they receive? They came to I saw them at an event. After that event, I sent them a text message saying, thank you for, you know, your whatever the conversation was about, you know, I'm trying to ad lib here, you know, and now I can go through and I can say, oh, how many exposures before they actually say yes? And that is a huge part of what automations can allow us to do. Take these 7 exposures and the need for that, and then say, okay, Robbie's got, let's say, 3,000 people in his database. If he's got to stay in contact with 3,000 people, he's also a father of 3. His wife and him love to go out and hang out and do fun things. He's got dogs. He's got life. He doesn't have time to spend talking to 3,000 people, but his automations do. So this is where we come in and say, what are the things that we can do to automate this so that when someone comes out this pipeline, they come out the pipeline as a buyer, but not just as a buyer. Okay. What I like to call a residual buyer. In my career, my entire career was built on helping people come to a session like this that gave them enough value to say, these guys aren't lame. I'm going to hang out with them. I want to be part of this. I want to do something like this. And then they stayed customers. And I mean, I have customers from 20 years ago that I'm still in contact with because I made sure that when they got here, that the 7 exposures that they received from me weren't lame, that they didn't feel sold. Now, I didn't do that well in other businesses. I mentioned network marketing, one of the businesses that I was in. I did not do that well, and I burned a bunch of my network because I was like Joey the circus boy and his pretty little pet, and I wasn't focusing on this rule of 7 and saying, I need to chill out and not, this doesn't mean we need to be in front of everyone's face and like annoying about it, like the guy like doing the clickbait, and, you know, buy my thing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we've got to have a way to be top of mind. If we're not top of mind, then we're not going to be able to convert. So these are our areas where we focus on attracting. What is it that we're doing to attract an audience? Okay. These are the areas where we're going to focus on conversion. Okay. So we focus on attraction here. We're focusing on conversion here. By the time this is done, it's going to make no sense. I'm going to erase the Robert Kiyosaki thing because I don't think anybody even got that. So I'm just going to act like I didn't say it. But if we look at this funnel and go, okay, I've got 7 exposures and now they become a residual buyer. Well, that's a really cool opportunity. Switch this. It's not working anymore. Are you guys able to see my, let me jump into the chat to see. Thanks, Michael Peluso. Hey, can you jump in the chat? Can you guys still see my my iPad? It feels like it's not working. It's not. I'm getting it though. Here it is. It's back up. All right. So when we look at this funnel and we go, okay, we need to get these 7 exposures going. It's an overwhelming feeling, right? To get to this level where we're attracting, we're converting, and it's working that way. That's an overwhelming place to get to. So what number 3, these automations allow us to do is we can go, okay, what is the standard that I have with making my first contact with my customer? How do I want to behave in that first contact? Do I want to be all, crazy? Do I want to be calm? Do I want to be grateful? What does that exposure look like? And as I look at that, I say, how can I automate that? And that's where having a great tool comes in. So I want to talk about those automations and show you the tool and jump into the demo now so you can see what automations look like as they start to, to play out in a real business. So in fact, let me just jump over here. I've got a bunch of things pulled up. Should have waited and had this ready. But anyway, here's so this is the dashboard for Joinocity. This is a platform that you can have and you can utilize in your business. It's not going to cost you $500 a month like Zoho and some of these other CRMs. It's an affordable way for us to manage a business as someone who likes to automate, but also have a pulse on what everything's doing. One of the things I hate the most business owner is when I'm working with a sales team and the sales team doesn't use any sort of pipeline. And I go, okay, how are your leads right now? How do we need to get them warmed up? Like, where are they at? And they'll be like, oh, we got a list, we could get that list warm if we want. And I go, well, when was the last time you had a contact with them? Like, what? They don't have any of those details. And I'm going, man, I'm working blind right now because these people have no idea who their customer is, where they're at in their pipeline, which means in my mind, they don't care about their customer. So I think we each need to take a serious look at our own business and say, do I care enough about my customer to make sure they go down a pipeline that is what I want as a business owner? That helps them to experience my business, but it's also what they want as a customer. It's not forceful, it's not in their face, but it's on their mind. So this is a pipeline, and this is what a lead pipeline looks like, just to show you. If you've not used one before, they're simple to understand. It basically says, what is this person? What is this person? What is this person? And it's got them placed. These are my new leads. I can move my new lead to hot lead. Let's say he said, yeah, man, I'd love to schedule some time with you. I can move them over to booked appointments. So I can follow my lead pipeline. Now, if I go back to my dashboard, that whole lead pipeline is visible right here. So if I have a big database, I can see where all of my leads are. I can see if I've got prospects. I can see if I've got, things coming through. And for someone like myself, that's helping businesses raise capital for their business, if I go to them and say, so what is your database worth right now? And they don't know, that's not a good sign for my investor. If I go to them and say, well, they've got a database, but they aren't really sure, they haven't cultivated that database, they don't know its value right now. They don't know what their lifetime value of a customer is. They don't understand these things because they don't use this. Well, it makes them look bad. This makes us look fantastic because everything's right there. Now, I'm not going to go through the details of it, but it's a nice pipeline that we can visually look at. And what's cool is there's actually an app on your phone where you can pull up that same pipeline. You can download the Joinocity app. You can talk to your customers that way and all of that. In fact, when we want to talk to our customers, we can talk to them through this messages section. This is a great piece of our business that allows us to basically automate our entire customer support system. I can build into this a customer support process where I can hire a customer support person to manage my messages right through here. So I can have them jump in, see what messages need to actually be made. You can see that there's a phone call right here that was made to this guy named Robbie, a couple of other messages. This is me testing out my workflow, but I can now contact my customer. And what's great is all of that information is recorded. So for example, if I have a customer service department and I've got a customer service phone number, I can actually record each of those calls and messages, text messages and emails into one place. So I can book out for my customer. I really should have a better demo for this so I can show you. I'm just going to use my data. I don't care if you guys call me. There's my number. Here it is. Okay, so here's what's neat is I can actually send a text message right to myself. And then I'm going to get it right here on my phone. Hey, Robbie, how are you? But it's actually saved right here in Joinocity. Another nice thing is it's going to show me. Here, it just popped up right after I didn't show you. Okay, I could, if I wanted to send an email, the same thing. Here's me sending an email. It was my birthday yesterday, so I'm going to just send that. And then that email is actually there as well. If I were to just place a phone call, the phone call would actually be recorded right here. And I can do that right here on my app, on the app as well, where all of that messaging is available. So it's a great place for me as a networker and someone where I can just immediately put someone in. I can, contact them easily. And then if I want to book an appointment, all I got to do is click the schedule button and I can book them right into my calendar. And I can do that from my phone as well. So it's a really good customer service process for us that want to be able to track what's going on. That might matter a lot. You have a business where you sell something and you want to listen to a sales call. You have the ability to do it right here. Let's say you want to be able to send out voicemails. Let's say you want to send out a voicemail to someone. You could actually send out voicemails to, through the messaging system as well. So you don't actually make a phone call, you just send out a voicemail. Lots of different things we can do on that. I'm going to move on. Lead pipeline is amazing, but those the automation of talking to our customers is one of my favorite automations because now I can replace myself and have someone else doing that. My second one that I want to talk about now is workflows. Workflows they allow us, in fact, I pulled them up over here where we have some. A workflow allows us to take those 7 steps. Let me just go back to them, these 7 steps right here and go, okay, I got a plan now. I want 7 steps. I need 7 contacts with my customer. And then I can come over to my my workflow and I can put it right in. This is our business automation workflow, the one that we can actually just copy and paste it right into your profile. If you for a Joinocity account today, we're going to give you some extra stuff. This workflow, we can just copy and paste the entire workflow over. And if you see, there's all sorts of exposures here. The very first thing, and this workflow happens once a form is submitted. So if you remember, on our Joinocity website, you saw a video of me and I was talking. I was like, hey, jump on this webinar with me. It'll be super fun. And then you clicked yes. And then once you did, that submitted a form. Once that form was submitted, you were assigned to a user on our team. So we assigned you to me. We added a contact tag to you that says add them to our newsletter and our webinar funnel lead. Then we created an opportunity where you were placed directly over into our lead pipeline, where, like I was showing you over here on the pipeline, where we have a pipeline where it says new lead, hot lead, booked appointment, no show, one. Well, you were placed immediately into our Joinocity. This is a demo account, a dummy account, but you were placed into our Joinocity account. So that opportunity was automatically created, which means anybody on my team is now aware that we have a new potential client. And so these automations are automatically happening. So the next thing is you're going to get an immediate reminder at this time of registration that your spot has been reserved. And that was an email that you received from us. And that's what you got. And then and then the next step that we took in our workflow is we chose to wait. We said, okay, wait for 5 minutes. Don't send them an email and a text at the exact same time. That looks desperate for customers. Wait 5 whole minutes. Because we really want new Joinocity customers. Wait 5 whole minutes. Now we click on SMS and there it is. That's the text message that you received. So if you go check your phone, you should have that in there as well. Now you'll notice it says contact first name. I don't want to have to be able to go in and type every single person's name. So these custom values here can be added in where, you know, if you wanted their phone number put in, you wanted their email put in, you wanted any information placed. Let's say you wanted their schedule, like you got a calendar and you booked them onto your schedule. You want them to be placed on there. You can do stuff like that. So these are all things that are custom values. I am not a coder. I don't know how to do any of these things. Now we do offer an onboarding for an fee where we will come in and onboard all of the details and the things that you need. Now we are a software company that considers ourselves a community. We're here sharing ideas, sharing workflows, sharing the things that work for us, sharing the things that convert. And as we do that, you know, there is other things that we can do. We can help you with onboarding. We can help you build up some funnels. Just know that those are additional charges. And that's part of our business model, is to help people get to the point where they're saying, man, I want more. I want to be able to build this out. I want to do that. I want to be able to get advertising. I want to, you know, get into the New York Times and have a published article. I want to get on a TV show. We have all of those connections as ways to help customers down the road. This tool is there to help you manage the business so that you can eventually get to that place. So as we go through this workflow, and once again, you can have this workflow, all of these details are placed. So each and every one of these things automatically happen once I've put them in, and I don't have to do it again. So after this event, or 5 minutes before this event, you got this link right here that says, here's the link to be able to come. Now you'll notice this right here, that's called a trigger link. Okay, I've got a couple of trigger links set up over here. I'm not going to go into detail of how to do it, but I will, because it's super easy. But I just want you to look at and see what these things look like. This is my third favorite automation, trigger link. Inside an email or text message, I can build a quick link that's a trigger that says, if someone clicks this, do something. So if this trigger is if this link is clicked, I can trigger a new workflow. So if I put a link in there that says, hey, would you like to book with me? And someone clicks that link, I can know. Now, if they don't finish the booking, the trigger link knows that they started it. So if I don't get a booking from that, I can know it. And then I can reach out and say, hey, I noticed that you didn't finish, booking an appointment. Would you still like to do that? You know, and then I would know about that. As a business owner, it's so critical for me to be able to have that ability to know where everyone is, but also to automate those things. Now, it might sound like it's pretty complex, but it's really not. Let's just say I wanted to add a scheduling link, and I had my Calendly link or Acuity link or my Joinocity link. You can just put it right in. Let's just say it's my website. And that's the link. That's all you have to do. And now that trigger link becomes available over in my workflow. So if I go build a workflow now, let me just go show you what that would look like. If I were to go and build a new item, like sending a text message, literally come in and look, that trigger link that I just built is right here. It's called scheduling link. So now I just put it in, and so it'll automatically link it. So it's super easy, even though we may not fully understand what I just went through right there. So don't try and understand the detail to it. Know that we've got, some onboarding courses. And if you want to pay for an onboarding, we do that. And it's not like it's $5,000 or something. It's a low cost way for you to get onboarded into the tool with everything. Bring your website over, bring over your databases, integrate your calendar, stuff like that. We can show you what that is. But these workflows, another one of my favorite tools that we can use when we're doing this. Let me get back to my cheat sheet right here. So I've got all of them: workflows, trigger links, integrations, pipelines. Okay, so the last one that I want to cover, because I forgot to say pipelines is one of my favorite automations. The last one I want to cover, I forgot it already, was these integrations and all of the different integrations available. And I'm just going to click through some of the things that you can do. So you can build out as many workflows as you want. We can load some workflows in for you. You can also build from templates if you want. There's under the marketing section, you can build out email campaigns, text messaging campaigns. You can build out those trigger links like I showed you. You can build out forms to capture people's data. Let's say we're going to like a networking networking event and you want to capture someone's data, you could build a really link that says, yeah, just go to this link, text it to them, and then they put in their name, their email, and then they just go right into your pipeline. So you've got ways where you can speed working process like this. It's just a really, really powerful tool. I'm not going to get into all the details on how to do that. If you want that, then set up some time with us and we'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to skip over reporting, but you can track what's going on, your analytics with Google and Facebook and all of that attribution, and then all of your scheduling as well. But I want to click on this and show you a little bit about what integrations can do for us. Let's say we integrate our Google My Business into Joinocity. It's simple. You come to settings right here. You go to Google My Business. Go to integrations, and then you go to Google My Business. And when you do that, you see that there's all sorts of integrations, one of which is Google My Business. So if we were to integrate our Google My Business, which happens after we actually integrate our calendar or our email, then once we've done that, we integrate it, we can just go and get our reputation boosted by utilizing this reputation tool, where we can send out review requests that are automatic to raving fans. So let's say we have someone who we know will give us a 5-star review on Google. If you don't have 5-star reviews on your Google My Business right now, you're behind the curve, and it's time to do that. People buy on Amazon because of reviews. People, create relationships with companies often because of those reviews. And so this is a great tool to automate that so that we can build up our reputation and send these things out. So when we send out a review request, we can do it manually. When we do, all we have to do is go in and talk about submit the customer's information. Okay, and we can do it manually like that. We can also make this a trigger inside a workflow. So let's say we wanted to create a campaign that actually gathered these, and we send out an email and a video and like saying, hey, please, if you would give us a review or whatever. If we do that and we send those out, we can improve those reviews over these automations. So we added in a workflow, and then we have that opportunity. So if we look at all the different ways we can integrate our calendars, we can integrate our phone systems. Everyone that gets a Joinocity account gets a phone number. We can integrate things like your mailgun services, like your SendGrid and your Mailchimp, so that we can use server reputation to send out mass emails. We don't believe in sending out free cold emails. That's so bad for everybody. So we don't promote that in any way with Joinocity. But if you understand how to warm up a list and you know how to do that, if you need coaching on that, we can help with that as well. But knowing what to do to get those things sent out, this is a great opportunity for you to use a tool that lets you manage literally everything you need in your business. So a couple more things before we're done. If you go to funnels and websites, funnels are landing pages. Okay, this is what a funnel looks like. This is one of my funnels right here, where people go and then get access to a training course or whatever. Okay, it's a landing page with a video. That's sometimes what a funnel would be, but it's a multi-step process. This is step 1. Here's step number 2. Once they click here, they get another step. It's like, that's what a funnel is. This is what a website is. This is my website. So this is all of the information kind of in one place. I've got a couple of pages, but I don't build it. And guys, I built all of this by myself with no coding background, no idea what I was really doing when I first started, but it was not challenging. I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how easy this could actually be. So this is, one of the websites that I've built with Joinocity. So when we go to funnels right here, where it says funnels, those funnels, what's really neat is if you know of a funnel that's like is a click funnel, like this, for example, is a click funnel. If I copy this address, I can literally actually go over, and as I create this new funnel step, let's just call it my funnel for fun. Okay, as soon as I go in and start creating this, okay, if I just paste that, so I took this URL and I paste it right here into Joinocity, And then as soon as I click create funnel step, it's going to import all of that info. So I can literally take that whole first funnel step right in, and I can use it as a model for my next. Now, keep in mind, you don't own the graphics, you don't own the videos, you don't own the content. So we got to go in and create it. But let's say I wasn't trying to get the attention of funnel hackers, but I was trying to get the attention of crypto investors. I do a lot of crypto stuff. Now I just go and I start going down and I edit it into whatever I want. So it is the fast way to start building stuff in your account. So that's just one example. We can do that on our website, on our funnels. And so that allows us to have a starting point. Now we actually have some templates that for those of you that get started with Joinocity today, we're going to load some preloaded templates in there. We'll give you some options on what industries you want to look at. We'll load some templates right into your account so that you can build your websites or your funnels right off of a template. For example, this is a digital marketing agency template. I'll just go to the website really quick so you can see what it looks like. This is a template. You would just literally have this as your starting point, and then you would go through and start editing the data. Now, you might not have a digital agency. Maybe you have a yoga studio. Maybe you don't have that, but you have a brick and mortar business. Whatever you have, we can start you with a template to get you going, and then you just have to go in and edit those details. So we do build stuff out. Like I said, that's a future opportunity for people. If you want to have everything built out for you, we can talk, but those are thousands of dollars, to be able to build those things out. Not hundreds of dollars like we're going to be talking about today. So those funnels and websites are amazing. The last thing that you can build out as far as kind of a foundational thing, I mentioned earlier that I personally have part of my business is to sell courses. So if I'm selling courses, those are member sites. I was using Kajabi before, which is $150 a month for 3 modules. Well, you can get an unlimited amount of modules with Joinocity, and these member sites, you can build out as many as you want. So this is a really cool way to train your internal team, to onboard someone into a new community. This is our member site for the Joinocity people that get started today. This is an onboarding course that goes through each and every step and area of what it is that needs to get done to get started with your onboarding. So when you go to start the course, it's got videos, it's got content, it's got lessons and details on how it's done. So you can actually go through and learn how this is done. Well, that's a member site. Think for a moment, let's pause for a minute. I've been talking for a really long time. Let's pause for just a second and think for a moment about your business. What are things that you teach or train people about? What are things that you teach or train people about? Those are things you build member sites for. Are you going to teach your staff how your sales process works? Cool. Build it into a member site, record the video instead of teaching them one-on-one every single time. Replace yourself with some sort of, a learning management system that you have now inside Joinocity with this member site that lets you help them learn. There's so many different ways that we can do this. And when you look at all of those different automations, okay, and what they are and how much they cost. Let me make this full screen so you can see it and remove my face. Okay, we look at email marketing, Mailchimp, $99 a month, SendGrid, things like Scipio for our monthly text messaging, $99 a month. Touchpoints is $150 a month. They offer is text messaging. Sales funnels, ClickFunnels. I was at the $199 account, I think, but it goes up from there. Website builders like Wix and Squarespace. I can't remember how much. I think it was $200 a year for their builder, and then this much for their hosting and all this. Literally, you could just add as many domains into this as you want to. And so we don't have to have all those additional fees. It's like letting all of these things go and saying, I don't need a tech stack with everything. I need a tech stack that does the things in a way where it helps me in my life. And that's exactly what this does, including booking your appointments, doing all of your calendaring, and all of the things that we talked about today. If you were to add up all of those tools, you're going to be well over $1,300 a month for that tech stack, and you'd be driving yourself nuts trying to do that much stuff. Now, Joinocity is not $1,000 a month. It's not $500 a month. To use this tool is $199 a month, and that's it. Okay, there is a $300 option to onboard. In fact, Hyder or Mike, if you're here, could you put the link in the chat box so everyone knows where to go to actually get started with this? It's one thing I failed to do is have my link ready. Here's how you buy from me. I don't have that. So, but anyway, so all of these things, it's $199 a month. We do have an onboarding that you can do for $300, and that will help you get your integrations done. That's not going to build your we're not going to build your website for you for that. We're not going to go and build your funnels for you. We can import templates for websites, import templates for funnels. We can help with those workflows, add some workflows in there and other campaigns. Campaigns I didn't show you, but campaigns are much like workflows where it's like send this email first and this email second, and then send a text message. It's a campaign you could run. So all of those things are there and they're included. Now, I wish Hyder or hey, Kay, I saw that you're on here as well. Would you mind getting me the link so that as I'm finishing, I can actually send the right link to everybody? I'm going to text Mike right now for it. Sorry, everyone. I'm literally on a live thing without the link for the call to action. It's unbelievable. I can't believe I did that. No matter what, you're going to get a link from us because we have automations that are going to take place that are going to start here in a minute after this webinar. But when we're utilizing this type of tool, we're cutting out other costs and we're adding in other values. Now, because I don't have the link right now, and I can't believe I did that, but shoot. Kay or Hyder, I think one of you guys are on, but I don't see either of you. I need the link to register. Man, my face is going so red right now. I wish you guys could talk to me. I really do. I'm not going to do this as a webinar in the future. I think I'm going to do this as a Zoom meeting so I can just, hey, everybody, let me tell you what you're going to get when you do register. Okay, it's $199 when you register today. Well, within the next 72 hours, we're going to allow you a 30-minute meeting with me or Mike Peluso. Whoever is available, we're going to offer the same values. Thank you, Hyder. I appreciate that. Hyder put it in the chat box, saving the day, brother. I appreciate it, man. So Hyder is our head of support here at Joinocity, and so I appreciate you doing that, Hyder. But that $199 is going to include your a month of Joinocity. There's no contract, but if you want to sign up for a year, you get 2 months for free. And so that's $19.90 for the entire year. If you want that onboarding will be with Hyder, and they'll go through and integrate your calendars, your emails, your website domains, any type of SMT mailgun service or things that you might need. And they'll get that done. The $300 onboarding is going to help you get all of that stuff integrated. Now, you don't have to do that. Many people have someone skilled enough to understand how to do that, and they don't need that. And if you don't, that's okay. But when you click the link, webinar.joinocity.com/offer, just type that in here really quick so you guys have it. There it is, webinar.joinocity.com/ paste that here. There we go. Oh goodness. Webinar.joinocity.com/offer. And like I said, when you get started today, so my hourly rate and Mike's hourly rate's $500 an hour. That's what we offer when we're coaching and consulting. And so when we're offering you 30 minutes to onboard on Joinocity, it's because we know that that part of this process is so important, because we're going to be doing a business onboarding. We're going to say, where's your business at? Where's your pipeline at? What do your customers look like? And we're going to give you ideas that will be well worth your time with us in that call, and we will make it very valuable for you. So go to that webinar.joinocity.com/offer. get started with Joinocity. When you do, you're going to get some information about how about your username, your password, getting logged in. And if you get that onboarding, you'll have an opportunity to schedule that onboarding with Hyder, and he'll get you started. Now, you can schedule that. I would schedule it as soon as possible. We also offer every Thursday at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so 2 p.m. Eastern Time, same time tomorrow. We do a community call where we get those that are interested in being part of this Joinocity community that's helping other business owners, authors, speakers, coaches, agency owners, those looking to make an impact, and working together as part of the community, sharing some of what works for you, some of what works for in your business, and how you're using Joinocity to accomplish those things. I'll be doing that call as well, but it's more of a mastermind where we're all talking together, and some great value is going to be had. So if you want to get started and get on that call for tomorrow, get started right now and we'll get that done. But thank you so much for your time today. I really did appreciate it. My name is Robbie Law. Feel free to look me up, Google me. You might be able to find me. I really have the desire to impact people that are looking to make an impact. And Joinocity is a great tool that allows me to do that with my business without impacting my life in a negative way. I'm able to do things with less time. I'm able to do things that allow me the freedom to be a dad and husband and do all the things that I want to in my life. So definitely take a look at it. It's worth, the tool itself is worth it, but the community is going to add value to you as well. So thank you for your time today, and we will see you next time. Take care.